The thing about heroin is it is probably the most physically addictive drug. You've got several components of addiction. You've got the mental, you've got the emotional, and you've got the physical. And heroin is the perfect storm when it comes to all three, because when I was using it, not only did it feel like I had to have it, I mean, it was something that was as necessary for my body as air, as water, as food. That was the first thing I thought about when I opened my eyes every morning. That was the last thing I thought about before I passed out at night. It was one of those things, if I had any on hand, I knew without a doubt that I was going to be dope sick. I was going to be going through withdrawal the next morning. And I would lay there restless, knowing I had half a bag of heroin somewhere in my apartment. I was trying to hide from myself because I knew that I was going to be going through withdrawal the next morning. So I would try to tell myself, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But every single time I would end up getting up and doing it, just because that high is so powerful. It's one of those things that once you cross that line, there really is no going back. I mean, you've got heroin. What do you... There's no topping that. And there's the saying, chasing the dragon. You're always going after that first high, that first time you did it. Like I said, I remember doing it myself on Christmas Eve of 2000. And I can remember everything about that night. And it's like bombs going off in your head. It is the most intense, physically pleasurable experience you can possibly imagine. I can't put it into words. But that is also what makes it the most dangerous, because that high immediately becomes your master. You become a slave to that drug. You will do whatever it tells you to do. You will hurt whoever it tells you to hurt. Not because you're sitting there thinking, this sounds like a lot of fun. I think I'm going to steal from my parents, or I'm going to steal from my loved one. No, you are doing what you have to do to get more of it. For parents, for loved ones, when you're dealing with somebody who is a heroin addict, the best time to try to reach them is when they're going through that withdrawal. At that point, you're so miserable, you're so sick, you're so in so much physical and mental agony that you're willing to do anything. You want more of the drug, but more than anything else, you just want that misery to go away. Obviously, you tell people, don't do this, don't try this. It's one of those things that it will forever alter who you are. But it's really difficult to get someone to understand that allure is just deadly, because so many people think, it's not going to happen to me. I can't tell you how many people I've seen who think that they can just start out by doing a little bit. I'll only do it, on the weekends, or I'll only do it every other day. But sooner or later, that allure, the thing that I talked about as far as, telling me to get up in the middle of the night and do what little I had left, even though I knew I was going to get sick, it pretty much commandeers your entire thought process, and you find yourself doing more and more and more. And pretty soon you're doing so much that you're not getting high, you're just not getting sick. There are enormous resources out there for heroin addiction. Cornerstone of Recovery in Blount County is a phenomenal facility. Helen Ross McNabb in Knoxville has a phenomenal facility in Center Point. There's English Mountain in Sevier County. There are a number of resources around here, but until an addict wants to get help, there's very little a loved one can do. It's getting them when they're at that weakest point, when they're going through that withdrawal, and say, now's the time to do something, that they're probably going to be the most agreeable to doing it.